We hear this phrase all the time, right? We all belong. But what does that actually mean? Well, it really boils down to two big ideas: fairness and culture. And you're about to see how you can't really get one without the other.
All right, let's kick things off with something I think we've all felt. You know that feeling, that gut punch when you see something happen and you just think, hey, that's not fair. We've all been there.
Seriously, take a second and think about it. Can you remember a time that happened to you? That little sting when something just felt wrong? That feeling? That's exactly where we're going to start.
Okay, but to really dig into that not fair feeling, we've got to clear something up first. There's a super common mix-up that trips a lot of people up, and that's the difference between being fair and being equal. And trust me, they are not the same thing.
So we toss these words around like they mean the same thing, right? Fair, equal, same difference. But nope. They're actually two totally different ways of looking at a situation. Let's break down what really sets them apart. So check this out. Equal means everyone gets the exact same thing. Same size box no matter how tall you are. But fair, that's different. Fair means everyone gets the help they need to see over the fence. See the difference? It's not about giving everyone the same stuff. It's about giving everyone the same chance to succeed.
All right, so if being fair is all about giving people what they need, how in the world do we know what they need? Good question, right? Well, that brings us to our next big piece of the puzzle: culture. And not just understanding it, but celebrating it.
Now, when I say culture, don't think it's some stuffy, boring textbook definition. Culture is real. It's all the special things that make a group of people who they are. You know, their stories, the way they see the world, the rhythm of their daily lives.
And what are those things? Well, think about it. It's the food that just tastes like home, the music that's the soundtrack to your life, the stories your grandparents told you. None of this is just random stuff. It's the very foundation of who we are and how we see everything.
Okay, so we've got fairness over here and culture over here. So what's the connection? How do they fit together? This right here is the heart of it all, because it's about getting to that one big goal: making a world where every single person feels like they belong.
And here it is. This is the bridge that connects everything. Think about it. You can't really be fair to someone if you don't understand them, their needs, their experiences, what they've been through. And where does that understanding start? It starts with being curious and open to learning about each other's cultures.
So we've talked about some pretty big ideas, but now let's bring it all back home. It's time to make this personal. Let's turn these concepts into some real questions we can actually ask ourselves.
Because, it's one thing to understand all this in your head. It's a whole other thing to put it into practice. So the big question is, where do we even start? Well, then the very first step is just thinking. Yeah, really. Just take a moment. What's one thing that stuck with you about fairness or equity? Did that whole fair versus equal idea make a light bulb go off? Just sitting with that for a minute, that's a huge first step. Next up, let's look in the mirror. What about your own culture, your family's traditions, your stories? What makes you proud? Because when we can see and appreciate the good stuff in our own identity, it makes it so much easier to see it in other people too. And finally, we zoom out. We go from thinking about me to thinking about we. When you take everything we've talked about, all of it, it leads to the biggest question of them all. How can we, you and me, actually do something to make our communities, our schools, our world, a place that's fair and welcoming for everybody? Because that's really the whole point, isn't it? A world where everyone belongs, it doesn't just magically appear. We have to build it. And we build it by doing exactly this: thinking about what's fair, being proud of who we are, and making a real effort to be welcoming to others. It's that cycle: asking, listening, and then doing something about it. That's how we build a world where we all truly belong.